aggressive this morning, can we not? Get this wet first?
The secret to life. I had to get out of that corporate life. I had to get out of that control.
Let it be, let it be, let it be known.
It's in my head. Freaking realization yesterday, and I wasn't gonna say anything about it, but now I'm gonna say it.
Yeah! You guys are aggressive this morning, can we not? Oh my god, can you fucking light, sir? Thank you. Rude. It's 4 a.m. Maybe a little after now. Lord, save me, please. I don't want my camera to break. I really tried to go back to sleep this morning. It did not work.
Especially because the baby was snuggling with me.
Oh god, you guys, I have to go get water. My trash smells like onion. Well, that's fun. I'm gonna try something new today. I googled how to like properly make pour over coffee, and you're supposed to like get this wet with hot water first. Oh, you can't even see what I'm talking about. Hey, hey. Get this wet first. Okay, now we let the coffee bloom for 30 seconds. 29, 30. And we go back and we pour our coffee, guys. I'm a pour over pro. Just kidding, I'm sure people will be not happy if they saw that I was using this. Actually, like, I mean, really though, those of you who are like all into your Chemex or whatever, and like, I don't know, I mean, how is that like, it's a freaking piece of glass. How is that gonna make your coffee taste any better? I don't get it. Yo, yo. Yiggity yaha. Tis Tuesday at like 4:30 in the morning. I woke up at like 3 something. I just couldn't go back to sleep, even though my kitty was snuggling with me this morning, which like never happens anymore. Huh. You want your heat pad on, mama? I put too much creamer in my coffee this morning though because, oh god, well, sometime later, it's probably like, 4:55. I had to go to the bathroom. And then I got stuck watching this 15-minute video. I really need to get to a place where I'm using a little less creamer, because now that I'm doing the pour over coffee, I don't know if it's because it's maybe a little weaker or, you know, just cleaner because I'm not using a 20-year-old coffee maker that is probably not the cleanest, even though I like to think that it's clean enough. Today, as AM's gratefuls for, I'm grateful for my friend Colette. She's kind of the only person I really have / had energy to be around. I mean, I didn't have a ton of friends and like I've never really had a ton of friends, if I'm completely honest. It's just never been who I am. But over the last few years, people have been dropping away from my life. Sometimes by my choice, sometimes their choice. Sometimes I think it just, you grow away from each other. And I've been okay with that because I've always kind of been a person who just doesn't have a ton of friends. I've always found it to be easier. And I don't know if that's just like me being mindful of my own energy or what, but it's just been that way. I always had at least like probably 2 or 3. And Colette was not one of those for a while. And this year, I just have gotten to a place where I don't really want to be around anyone. I have one friend who I adore, and I will always adore her, but we're getting to a time in her life where I just want her to pull herself out of whatever she's in. And I know that it's hard. She's lost in the system. And when I say the system, it's probably not what you guys are thinking. In my opinion, the system is the current world we're living in. period. Government, the drama, the events, mass attacks. She's lost in it, and I can't save her. She has to save herself. But Colette, I don't know, she always tries to get me to talk about things that I just don't really want to talk about, because I feel like, why? A lot of the stuff with just what's going on in the world right now in the panoramic view, if you know what I mean. And I'm a person of free will, free choice, freedom. As long as you are not harming other people physically and even sometimes emotionally, but let's be real, sometimes you can't live your truth without hurting other people emotionally. Sometimes people have to be told the truth or have to be left in the dust for you to continue to grow. So there's always going to be some pain, but you can't be going out and killing people, right? You can't be going out and like hurting people just because it makes us feel better. That's not how life is. I think that the world that we are headed to is kind of a scary one. And it just kind of makes me sad to see everybody falling for it. While like I've seen it my entire life. And maybe that's why I've always been a loner. Maybe that's why I've never really had any true, like super close, like, oh my God, you're my lifelong forever friend that I, feel absolutely the most connected to. I've never had that. Well, I had that with someone, but the friendship didn't last very long on their end. And I tried to contact them for years, but when I finally did reach or get in contact with them, conversation was very short. Clearly they didn't want to talk to me. So I don't really know what happened there. But anyways, I think that I've always seen this plan. I've always felt it. I've always known that there's been a plan in place. I have literally said it since I was in high school. It's why I never registered to vote. It's why I will never register to vote. I don't believe in our system. I will never believe in our system. I will never vote. I will never believe in our government. Current, like the way that things are now, there's a chance in the future, maybe if things really completely turn over. But the reality of the situation is the human being is an entity that gets drunk on power. So you give somebody power, it's eventually gonna go bad. I've just always seen this. I have always known that this shit was gonna happen. I've always known that there's a plan in place, there's an elite group, and whether what everybody says about this elite group, that, they do blood rituals or like whatever all the crazy stuff is that you guys hear and you don't believe in, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. The reality of life is, just like yesterday when I was talking about the chemtrails, we don't really know. We don't. Have you been in that like high clearance security situation where you've actually been a part of it? I highly doubt that you are. Because if you have been, you're probably not fucking watching these videos. So like, I don't know. I just think that we can never truly know what's going on, and you can never truly put anything past anyone, especially people in power. So, do I think that they are as evil and disgusting and vampiric as people make them out to be? I don't know. I don't. I'm not gonna say yes, and I'm not gonna say no, because I don't know. I will say the energy and the vibes that I have always gotten from all of that, those people, specific people that are brought up in the media, all of that has always been bad. Which is also why I never wanted to register to vote, because I always felt these politicians' energies, whether it was local politicians or nationwide, I don't know, whatever, federal, I don't know. I've always felt their energies. And I've always been able to tell, like I've always been right in my gut feelings, right? When I don't trust them is when I end up in trouble. And so the fact that even when I was younger and I didn't understand government and I didn't follow any of it, I was like, this 13, 14, 15-year-old idiot. You know what I mean? Like, we're not smart, but here I am genuinely feeling these people, knowing that they're bad. Whatever that is, I don't know. Whatever level they take it to, I don't know. They're bad. So I've always just decided I'm not going to partake in that. And now, in this current situation, I'm really starting to see it. Like I see the plan. Back in the day, I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know how they were going to do it. I didn't know exactly what was going on. But I knew there was a plan in place for total power. And that's all it, like total power, period. And now that we're here in this current moment, I see exactly from the beginning to now what they've been doing, how they've been doing it, and how so many people have fallen for it. And it's not their fault. It's not your fault. It's not anybody's fault. The sad part is every single part of our daily life causes us to fall into it. It's conditioning us. It's mentally breaking us down and turning us into subjects that they can control. That's exactly what's happening. Whether you want to see it, whether you can't see it, whether you just refuse it, whatever it is, this is what's happening. And the sad part is so many people are on the side of freedom and sovereignty, and they are painted out to be the most horrific people in the world. Ridiculed, embarrassed, permanent naps. The fact that so many people think these people in power are working for their best interest and to create this life that is gonna bring everybody together and be part of everything, and one great, beautiful whatever is false. It's just false. All of these things that are happening, these people are fucking evil. They're disgusting. And we're letting them live their best lives and control us and do all of these things to us. And it just makes me so sad, because there's so many people that I grew up with that had such a free mind and a free spirit, and they're lost. They're gone. They're deep in it. And I don't know if they'll ever come out. And it's just sad, because they are consistently in fear all day, every day. And that is not a life I want to live. I lived it for a while. I got lost for a minute, but I pulled myself out, and I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. I am so grateful that I was able to see that I was falling into it and see that I had to make changes. I had to get out of that corporate life. I had to get out of that control. I had to get out of that mind control. I had to get out of that life. Bye. I can't partake in that. That is part of the control system. Our education system, corporate worlds, the job force, the fact that we can't talk about things. Let's think about this. I had this freaking realization yesterday, and I wasn't gonna say anything about it, but now I'm gonna say it. I was watching a podcast with two people that I somewhat enjoy, but they're also very lost in the system, to the point that they give trigger warnings in every single video and yada yada yada, and that just I can't. Doesn't the fact that giving a trigger warning about the subject trigger the person? I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. Them talking about it, saying, oh, hey, just trigger warning, I'm gonna be talking about some eating things, or I'm gonna be talking about whatever. It's wouldn't that alone trigger their issue? I don't know. It just frustrates me that that people are expected to just warn everybody about what they're gonna do, or I don't know, I just can't handle it anymore. Anyways, I had a realization. They were talking about miscarriages, and they talked about how in our society we don't tell people that we're pregnant for the first trimester because it's hard, and that's just how we've been mind controlled to do it. And then they were talking about how they've had a couple miscarriages, and one of them I think just had infertility issues. They had said that after they got pregnant, they had to tell their support system. They had to tell their family. And it was the best decision for them. Now, obviously, this decision is going to vary from person to person. But they decided to tell their family so that, if something were to go wrong, they had somebody to fall back on. They had that support system. They had somebody. People knew. They didn't have to explain why people were why they were sad or why they couldn't go out that night. People knew their closest people that they were pregnant, and if something were to go bad, they could tell them what was going on. And it just all of a sudden hit me that are we told that it's not appropriate to talk about when we first get pregnant, because more people then would know that miscarriages are common, and that, I don't know, I just feel like it's a conspiracy somehow. I feel like there's a reason they didn't want women to come together and have a support system. Could you imagine if people actually were able to talk? Not everybody, and trust me, I understand that some people would not want to tell people, and that's okay. But there's probably so many people that did want to tell people but felt like they couldn't because of society's whatever standards. So can you imagine
that like if people who wanted the support could have had the support in that time, how that could have made a difference in their lives, how that could make a difference in somebody's life forever and empower them and make them feel so much better, because that's what it did for these ladies. It empowered them. Kind of just like, I lost it, dang it. It's like talking about money. For so long, it's inappropriate to talk about what you're making at work. You shouldn't do that. Why? Why can't we talk about what we're making financially? Because these fucking companies are screwing all of us and they don't want people to know. I don't know. Listen, y'all can think whatever you want. Call me crazy. I know who I am and I know what I believe and I know what feels right in my gut. And what's happening in this world is not right. And I am not falling for it. I will not partake in this society. I will not support these ideas. I only support freedom, love, healing, finding yourself, supporting yourself, and living your truth. No matter what that is. Legitimately, that is the most important part of this life. That might be like the secret to life or whatever that unattainable thing is. It's finding you. Finding what your purpose is, what your mission is, what you're supposed to be doing on this earth. We're all here for a reason. We're all here to accomplish something. And we are so wrapped up in other people that we no longer work on ourselves, help ourselves, think about ourselves, trust ourselves, love ourselves. We're consistently going outward. That's gonna get us nowhere. We have to start with ourselves. My coffee's cold. I've been talking for like 20 minutes. See how we edit this down and how make it make sense. Oh, I should have had this better because you could have had a baby. Darn it, I could just a little bit that way. We could have had a baby in it. Love her. Look at that baby. She's all warm and cozy. I put her heating pad into bed. See, that's a comfy, cozy spot. Pretty bummed about my coffee being cold already, but that's okay. It's alright, maybe it's alright. Okay, I'm gonna turn the camera off because it's probably hot. And this clip is long. Okay, how do I even begin to eat this poor sad egg, Sammy? Colette just sent me like 10 photos of this thing. I don't know. I know I was saying earlier, Colette is like the only person I kind of want to spend time with. It's becoming more difficult with her too because it's just, I don't know. So I was just like honest with her this morning, blunt. And I think she didn't love it, but I'm in a place in my life where if I can't be honest with you and say what I think or say how I'm feeling, especially after you've reached out to me, then we don't need to be in each other's lives. This is seriously my favorite breakfast. Let it be, let it be, let it be known. It's in my head. Just playing on repeat. Playing on repeat. Let it be, let it be, let it be known. Oh my gosh. Can we just for a second talk about Mia Maples' engagement to a man that just sounds like he's perfect for her? If you don't know who Mia Maples is, you should. And if you didn't know she was engaged, you should. And if you haven't watched her engagement story video, you should. Because, oh my God, it's so cute. And he just sounds like so thoughtful. I'm so happy for her. The only thing I would say is that I didn't love the part of her video where she said that she was trying to think about how she could like explain or convince, I think is what she said, people that she was ready for marriage because she's only 22. And Mia, I know you'll never see this, but girl, you should never have to convince anyone of what you're doing. I have no doubt in my mind that you are ready for this. I think everybody could see, everybody knows that watches you. Beautiful soul. So wishing her nothing but the best. Wishing her nothing but the best. I feel like Mia Maples, Emma Chamberlain, and Grace, her name's Grackle on YouTube. They are the vibe right now. They are the energy. They're everything on YouTube, in my opinion. I mean, I have other people that I enjoy watching, but when they post, I just love them. And it's so funny because they are all
All of them, so young. I'm 34, watching these people a decade younger than me that are far beyond where I was at that time, and I just think, such beautiful souls. My camera's gonna die.